Hello, I'm going to talk to you about my book called Self-Improvement Handbook. I'm not sure if you can see it properly, but you can get this book from Amazon or you can contact Good Alternative if you want one. Okay, now I'm going to serialize this book and I will talk about chapter 1 called Communication on this video. Communication is very important actually, because nothing works without communication. I'm going to read out the book, then explain any part which I feel need more explanation. Okay, here it goes. I will now talk about the subject of communication. I realize that this subject has been covered in the previous editions of the magazine. Some experts believe that a person's achievements and happiness in life are directly related to his or her ability to communicate effectively. And I agree with this viewpoint. Therefore, I will now delve deeper into the subject of communication. Let's start by asking what communication is. There are different types of communication. For example, when you touch something, you are communicating with it. Okay, you can touch someone tenderly and with affection. The person will understand your intention. Similarly, you can also touch someone in a rough way and quite hard, and the person will also know what your intention is. Similarly, when you smell something, you are communicating with it. The same applies when you look at something, when you taste something, or listen to something, and so on. So this covers all the 5 senses. In a more technical terms, some experts say that communication problem is caused by the breakdown of communication triangle. This quite simply means that any communication must have 3 essential parts to make it real and effective. These parts are, number 1, affinity or relationship of some sort. For example, love. Number 2, reality or agreement, or something both sides have in common. Number 3, communication itself. There has to be contact of some sort. For example, verbal, physical, correspondence, and so on. Problem arises when one or more parts of this triangle are missing. In interpersonal relationships, there are 2 types of communication: incoming and outgoing communication. A person who is talking, which is outgoing, to somebody else is communicating to that person, who in turn is receiving, which is incoming, the communication. Now, as the conversation changes, you will find that the person who was talking is now listening, while the other person is talking. The roles have reversed. In other words, a conversation is a process of alternating the incoming and outgoing communication. The important rule to bear in mind is that there should be a fair balance of incoming and outgoing communication. Difficulty would arise if there were an overbalance in either direction. This is the communication triangle, and problem would arise when the cycle is not completed. For example, a person who is talking entirely would feel dismayed when he or she does not get answers. Similarly, someone who is listening to somebody else talking would also feel dismayed when he or she is not given an opportunity to give his or her replies. In other words, the communication cycle is not finished or completed, and one way or the other, the person would seek to complete the cycle. Because where there is an inflow, then there have to be an outflow, as you cannot have a successful communication if it is not balanced and hence incomplete. I hope you're following that. This applies in most relationships, whether at work, with your partner or family, at leisure or social, with your friends, at business, and so on. And this proves how important communication is in a person's life. Have you ever spoken to somebody or some people and expected an answer or response afterwards, but in the end you did not get an answer, or you were deeply disappointed with their reaction? After experiencing this type of thing over a long period of time, a person is likely to find himself or herself becoming angry, disheartened, frustrated, anxious, exasperated, and so on. And he or she could decide that there is no point in trying to communicate with other people. This person could eventually withdraw from communicating with other people, including his or her family and relatives. This, of course, is a sorry and sad state to be in, and the person may not even know why he or she is withdrawing from other people, society, and life. The answer to this is not less communication, but more. As some experts said, a man is as dead as he can't communicate. He is as alive as he can communicate. You could find that the reason for many of your inexplicable negative feelings, such as anger, fear, sorrow, worry, etc., is because many of your communication cycles are not completed. And one way or the other, your mind will try to come up with reasons, whether right or wrong, or good or bad, in order to complete these cycles. Okay, so try this exercise. Recall all the instances in your life when you expected an answer or response from someone, but you did not get one, or you were ignored, or you were disappointed with the reply you got. Also recall instances when you were not given the opportunity to talk or respond, and so on. Similarly, recall all the instances when other people expected answers from you and they did not get one, or they were disappointed with your reply, or when you did not give somebody the chance to talk, and so on. How did you feel and react in each case? Recall all the instances in your life when you tried to communicate and failed. When you tried to communicate and succeeded. How did you feel and react in each case? What was the environment like? Was one or more of the communication triangle missing? Keep going over all these instances one at a time, including the sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, and so on present, until they no longer bother you or until you are cheerful about them. We will talk some more next time. Okay, that's it for this video, and I hope to talk about a different subject on a different chapter on my next video. I hope you got something out of this subject, and if you like this video, then please subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell. Okay, as always, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Take care and bye for now.